Amazon has sued Perplexity over its AI shopping agent. The accusation is that it's accessing Amazon accounts and masking bots as humans. Perplexity is making news when they were kind of like not in the last year, so it's probably good for them.
They've kind of like died off for a long time, and now all of a sudden they've come back to be people talking about them. Let me talk a little about that. Now you'd mentioned Amazon. Crazy week this week, and I was like, what is going on? Why is this stock going up? So we dug into that a little bit to see like, what is it about Amazon? It was dead for a while, then it was hot for a while, then it was dead again. So let's see. And then we'll finish off kind of like we've done every week and talk a little bit about AI, OpenClaw, agents in general. There we go.
Preview. My OpenClaw has been useless the last 2 weeks, starting to.
Maybe this is part of the reason. So apparently, there's a report out saying Perplexity's annual recurring revenue has passed $450 million in March, which is up about 50% in a single month. Yeah, so pretty crazy. And some of that is being attributed to, I guess, Perplexity has shifted. If you remember, Perplexity launched as basically the search competitor to Google, which apparently didn't really, it was great in the beginning, and then it kind of like died off, right? As Google started to add more AI capabilities to search, and they've launched Gemini and etc. And so it kind of like tailed off, and they were kind of like silent. And then they came out with their Perplexity computer, which caught a lot of people's attention. And it looks like they're shifting now to more AI agents that kind of focus on like these tasks, like their Perplexity computer, like does things for you now on your computer. And so I guess it's been paying off. A lot of people are taking notice, and I think part of it was OpenClaw, and they just happened to time it just right. But yeah, so yeah, Perplexity is coming back into the news as I guess at the moment, a viable competitor in the agentic space.
Yeah. Remember, Perplexity is what powered the Rabbit that was released, 2 years ago?
Yeah, the failed AI
The
personal
failed
assistant.
Rabbit that released around the same time as the failed Humane Pin,
Yeah.
or Human Pin, whatever it's called. No, that's interesting. Like, I had no idea. I always had Perplexity kind of like like one of those bubble companies that were going to get affected by the bubble, because while they had made news a couple of years ago, they weren't necessarily doing much. And I've tried Perplexity myself in the past. Like before I started using the Atlas browser by OpenAI, I tried the Perplexity browser, Comet, and I just wasn't too impressed. For me, I felt like Perplexity always felt a bit more robotic than the other
Mm-hmm.
things,
Yeah.
both in design and in response. So that's why I kind of didn't use it. And I still don't use Perplexity today. Yeah, 50% is no joke.
Yeah. I should probably try out the Perplexity computer and compare it to like Claude Cowork. It's the same space, so
Yeah,
might be
I
interesting.
don't. I'm not, like, just the name Perplexity computer is robotic already.
Yeah.
Like, why name a
They
product
could probably give
computer?
it a little bit more personality.
Yeah, but it hasn't been all rosy this week for Perplexity. A couple of things that also made it in the hit the news about Perplexity is, one, they had a fresh lawsuit dropped regarding privacy and tracking. So a new class action lawsuit was filed that claims Perplexity embedded tracking tech from Meta and Google, aka cookies, I guess.
Yeah.
That user data, including chats, were shared without the proper consent. So that's where it all comes out to be, right? And we worked on this a lot in tech,
Mm-hmm.
privacy policy, terms
Yeah.
and conditions. If you make changes to any of those things, you need to get users to reaccept. And then we've got the GDPR stuff in Europe, where that force all these websites to confirm whether or not you want cookies. Yeah, that's all part of it. People are very conscious about their privacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they were caught up in this lawsuit along with Meta and Google. And there's also a claim that their incognito mode in Perplexity, a Comet, wasn't actually private, which We all know you're if you think your incognito is private, it is not private. I mean,
Hmm.
for the most part, it'll not track you in some sense so that other third party companies can see what you're doing within that incognito session. But Safari, Apple, Google, Chrome, and Perplexity, what is it? Perplexity Comet, like they all have access to that incognito data. Yeah, I mean, if you think your privacy is truly private, you need to, I don't know, kind of being mean here, but get with 2026,
Hmm.
get with the 2000s.
Yeah.
But either way, like if there's things that happen to which companies made you think one way when it was something other, that is fair for a lawsuit,
Yeah.
which in this case
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Lastly, they also have a lawsuit from Amazon, who we're going to talk about in a moment here. Amazon has sued Perplexity over its AI shopping agent. The accusation is that it's accessing Amazon accounts and masking bots as humans, and the court temporarily allowed Perplexity to keep operating while appeals continue. So I think like this is they say bad PR is also good PR. The main point here is this week Perplexity is making news when they were kind of like not in the last year. So it's probably good for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these lawsuits, it's just more about they'll probably just have to pay Amazon something or they'll partner somehow and be done with it. ChatGPT had the same thing, so did Anthropic at some point, right? It's because these bots needed information, and that's the only way they could do it is to scrape, use any method they could to scrape the internet for data, right? So we'll see. Somebody might buy Perplexity. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody bought them, right? Because nobody wants to be beholden to OpenAI or Anthropic. So maybe somebody will just buy Perplexity. It's growing, but still a target, I think.
Yeah, I think like I need to read more about what their pivot to AI agents was, but the whenever I think who needs AI agent, it's like Salesforce.
Yeah, they are also doing terrible.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'll take a look at what Perplexity has been doing in the agent world and see what's going on. Here's an interesting one. It's another one that made headlines this week with Perplexity. Is there was a brutal real world test of Perplexity computer and a 10-day test. I don't know if they did it or someone else did it. I'm assuming
Hmm.
someone else, but a 10-day production test of their agent deleted approximately 4,000 articles, broke 20,000 plus URLs, and reported tasks as complete when they were not. Also generated fake recovery reports, failed to verify its own work.
Hmm.
So
Okay, so
the reason why I brought this up,
maybe I won't install computer then.
well, the reason I bring this one up is because, like, in our world and when we're working in these companies,
Hmm.
oftentimes just like putting out there, I mean, not in this form, but putting in things out there to the world and seeing what happens
Hmm.
forces you to prioritize the right things to fix.
Right.
And so maybe they fixed it already, Tony. So
Okay.
maybe you should try it.
Maybe I'll install it on my Mac Mini.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But here, CEO Aravind Srinivas also sparked backlash because he said AI layoffs are a glorious future.
That dude, he's always doing. He was saying stuff like that in the beginning too.
Because he's building his agents.
Yeah.
In a year, it's just going to be him with all his agents.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, uh, is Perplexity is still private, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Still private. Yep.
Can't invest, but um, it's interesting to share those numbers though on the ARR. Okay. Well, Perplexity
All
making
right.
headlines.
Okay.
Good, bad, and
We'll see.
rolling in dough.
Yeah. Apparently.
All right, let's move on next. So, related to AI, Amazon. Andy Jassy, he wrote his annual letter. People often wait for these annual letters, and Jeff Bezos was the one who did it before, and gives you an understanding of where Amazon's going and how to think about the world, because they're a big player in controlling kind of our economy and also our technology. And so the main points are that one, in Jassie's letter, he noted that AI is now a real business. AWS AI revenue was at a $15 billion run rate. First, and this was the first concrete AI is making money signal at scale. If you recall the last few earnings reports, the narrative has just been like, when are these companies like no none of these companies are actually showing that AI, the investment in AI is paying off. And so this is the first official, like concrete from a big company saying that it is, which is probably why Amazon stock went up.
Well, I think Meta has said how their AI investments have helped, but I think they were the only one, right, who were showing some benefit to their AI initiatives. But I think Amazon was a little bit more unexpected, I guess.
Okay, did you hear that, ChatGPT? It's not.
You hear that? Yeah, that's right.
It's not
They're
the
not
first
like
concrete
they're
AI is making money.
yes.
The second is Amazon is back in build mode, so cost cuts behind them. Huh, interesting. Cost cuts behind them. So does that
Well, I
mean
mean,
no more,
what was that? They laid off like 30,000 people the other month,
like the beginning of the
last
month, the
month.
beginning of the year? Yeah,
No, it was like last month.
last month. Okay.
Or maybe no, sorry, I'm thinking of Oracle. Oracle laid off like 30,000 people last month.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
Amazon was like
Amazon laid
January.
off that. Yeah, they laid off a ton. But okay,
So we'll see. That's interesting because is this the bottom of layoffs?
maybe yeah, I don't
Who knows?
I don't think so. I think some of these SaaS companies are going to have to start to go into layoffs when their stock is down like 50%. No more funding.
Yeah, yeah. Um, AWS is evolving, so from cloud provider to a full AI platform. AWS, I haven't really done much of the AWS like setup lately, but
Yeah.
models, infrastructure, tooling, everything needed to support agents and AI models at scale is there. Retail is quietly improved, so faster delivery, lower costs, better margins.
Mhm.
And the last point here is AI everywhere internally. So Amazon's using AI across operations and not just selling it. So ultimately, in Amazon and Jassie's case, this is where AI stops being a narrative and becomes a line item on the P&L, which is what people want to see, what the street wants to see.
Hopefully, not too little, too late before the AI market crashes.
Yeah, when do you think that's going to be? When do you think that's going to be?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next year.
Next year?
Yeah, I'll give it this year as yeah. This year would be the final, like the top of the top, and then it just kind of like starts to tank.
Yeah, well, yeah. See, one thing I wanted to pull on more is that bullet around AI. AI is everywhere inside Amazon. Like lately, I've been when I talk and catch up with people, I want to understand how they're applying AI to their
Mhm.
their companies and their
Yeah,
roles, and it's all over the board. I'd say the big tech companies or just tech companies in general are mostly using AI now. Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, all that stuff, right? Is like readily available and even pushed to use. So that's what I am seeing. However, I think like the non-tech companies, and this makes sense, right? Are like a bit more hesitant slash maybe don't even know how to incorporate AI into
yeah,
their roles. And so I think those companies are losing opportunity in terms
hmm
of like improving productivity and
yeah,
reducing, value of their employees. That's what I'm seeing. Case in point, like, I mean, the company I joined is an AI company, but it's actually like Claude is actually fairly new in terms of like using it for day to day work. But I can use it like, and I use it for trying to get. I'm trying to get to the 95% of my work is done by AI.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's one of those where people still try to figure out like how to optimize using AIs in whatever work that they do. But yeah, it's all over the board, right? Because it's it's kind of like individualistic. I feel like on how each person uses it, right? Versus it's not like I don't know. It's not like say a Salesforce CRM, right? Everybody's using the same thing, doing the same thing with it. Versus with AI agents, it's like it could vary from person to person. Like it's not standardized.
Yeah, that's very true. And for myself, who I'm pretty like versed now in it, I can totally see how I can use that to my advantage, right?
Hmm.
Because I can just be more productive and get things done faster because I know how to use it. Whereas some people, are still learning.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Takes a while.
hmm the thing though, I'm constantly needing to challenge myself on though is it's good. It's still in a place where it'll do. I wouldn't even say 95% of the work. I'd say more
Hmm.
like 85.
Hmm.
And there's that 15%, 10 to 15% left that still need to make sure like got the things right.
Hmm.
Because I've already like as I'm going in fast into this new company where I've been there for 3 weeks now, trying to get assistance from Claude to do things for me, and then I also trying to go fast with it, and I
Hmm.
didn't completely check it and
Hmm.
got some things wrong.
No.
But I, use my newbie card to, for the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But then like, now I can't use my newbie card soon here.
Yeah.
So that's just something like I've been talking to myself internally about is yeah, I'm an AI first person now, but I need to make sure that I'm not giving the keys away to these agents because they do and are still making mistakes, and that's where
Yeah.
my expertise
Yeah.
comes in.
I would still never 100% trust it. I mean, I would I treat it kind of like a, was it kind of like a junior employee where you'd still need to review all their stuff, right? Unless it's super basic, because I you just don't know like how accurate it actually is.
Yeah. So in the case of like these tech companies, then I mean, yeah, I have a bunch of friends at Amazon who I've asked this question to, and yes, they can use anything basically at
Hmm.
work.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's an interesting time. It's just an interesting time. Right? Anything else you want to say on Amazon? You said their stock was up, right? What was it up?
What was it? It was like 260 at some point. Let me look. I don't remember. I just remember it was up like 10% or something like that, which is just not normal Amazon moves. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I mean it was up like from 220 to like almost 240.
Yeah, 13 is about 13%,
Yeah,
almost 13% to close the week.
yeah, yeah. So for Amazon, that's a pretty big move because it's a pretty slow
Yeah,
moving ticker.
yeah, it went up 3.5% on April 8th, and then another 5.6% on April 9th,
Yeah,
and then finally another 1.7% on April 10th. So that's for a big company like that. That's pretty significant.
yeah. So we'll see if it can break 245. Then it'll break out of this channel back to all-time highs again. Maybe we'll see.
Nice. All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let's move to the second part of our segment, which is our AI musings. It's
Hmm.
related. It's very very AI episode this week, as many of the episodes have been lately. But I started off before we started. Tony, I told you my open claw's been useless.
Hmm.
I've not been able to use it in the last like 1 or 2 weeks. It's been kind of frustrating, and I don't know why. Really, a
Mm.
couple of things that I run into when trying to communicate with my agent over Discord. Oftentimes, the common thing is I need to re-authenticate. So I'll send it a message in Discord, and then it'll say, need to re-auth.
Hmm.
But lately, it's been saying that let me see, what has it been saying? It's been saying that unsupported value, low is not supported with the GPT 5.1 Codex Max. Supported values are medium. And this is confusing because I never told it to use GPT 5.1.
Yeah. I
At some
think.
point, I just like switched its model to that for
Yeah.
some reason, even though I don't have it as like a fallback or anything. And so that was going on. So I haven't been able to communicate with it because of that error. And then when I go into my VPS to like figure out what's going on, it's Yeah, it's just been a mess. It's been very sluggish and slow. And so what I found out this morning right before the session, because then I finally had the time to just go talk with Claude and tell me what is going on with my OpenClaw. I found out that there's like 50 something zombie sessions that are like over a month old.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I asked Claude, and so I showed Claude this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you need to clear those sessions because they're taking up like taking up resources. And some of them are over a month old." I was like, "Well, why? Like,
Yeah.
why is it doing this?" And so
Yeah.
that's where I ended up before we started our session today.
Mm,
But this has a number of things, but has happened. But this has basically caused me to not be able to use OpenClaw, and
yeah.
so I'm kind of losing interest, quite
Yeah,
honestly.
I've had a few instances where yeah the sessions I had with my whatever with my agent got corrupted, and I basically just had to completely nuke those sessions and kind of like start over, which was kind of annoying because I was in the middle of trying to build stuff with it. But yeah, no, like similar. I've kind of like decided to nuke my OpenClaw, and
You nuked it,
yeah, like it's
dead.
like
You killed your assistant.
I'm just like it was getting to a point where it's like starting to get super annoying. A lot of things that I was doing, like OpenClaw has made a lot of updates lately, like of the way it actually works. So they've hardened it quite a bit, which was super annoying because my agent couldn't do anything that it could previously do. It could like build stuff directly on the Mac, right? Versus now it's like I have to approve every single thing until I figured out like, oh, there's new settings where you have to change them so that your agent doesn't require you to intervene, or that I can't do it from the chat. I actually have to go to the physical computer to approve it. And I guess it's their way of hardening the system, right? Because OpenClaw was super like a security nightmare when it first launched. And so they've done a lot of hardening around it, which has actually made it more less useful.
Less open.
Yeah. And yeah, they've just made a lot of changes that every update, it actually has made it hard for it to be consistent. Like they improved the memory, which I know a lot of people have. So now the agents can dream and stuff, which kind of nullified a lot of the like time I put into trying to improve my OpenClaw's memory.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of useless now. And then what was the other thing that kind of like I was like, all right, I'm either I'm gonna nuke it and just try one more time with a fresh install and go from there. But I've also now that I've used Claude a bit more, it's kind of made OpenClaw a bit pointless. And I had these grand ideas of what I wanted OpenClaw to do, and really I think I mean you have to treat it as just it really is just an orchestration layer if you have multiple agents
One
doing
thing that
things. But it's
uh,
not great for building things. I think this is I've come to the conclusion is it's not good for building things versus if I use Claude directly or Codex directly to do what I want to do. I think that's been the biggest like change for me.
yeah, we talked about this a few months ago when Claude, just decided to continue blocking OpenClaw. It's because
Hmm.
they were just building the things that were going to catch up, right? And they did it
Yeah.
really fast. I agree. Claude has made a bunch of improvements since then to compete. Uh, they have dispatch, they have improved their Claude code product in both the CLI and in the app.
Hmm.
One thing that you triggered me when you were talking was to say this is have you tried, like OpenClaw can run Claude prompts?
I yeah, that again is one of those new features. Well, okay, so, yeah, so I don't use Claude in Open.
No, no, you can have OpenClaw send commands to your
Oh, to
Claude
my
bot.
Claude. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to integrate it though.
No, it's a command line. Basically, you just have OpenClaw run a command line prompt to tell Claude what to do.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
I
saying
mean
that
it's
because that's a way to like because even though Claude has made improvements, I still do think it's not like an always alive agent experience to me.
yeah,
Like Claude Code, I have to start a session and then it's in Claude. If I do it from the app, it's in Claude's
yeah,
virtual
yeah,
server.
yeah,
If I'm in the CLI, I have to actually SSH into my CLI and start a
yeah.
session, and then it loses context after when you start a new session. Whereas OpenClaw is just kind of like that. ever living entity. And so you said orchestrator, yeah. And what I was saying is one thing that may work is you can have it orchestrate your Claude,
Yeah.
basically direct your Claude.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't. I just kind of gave up on
Yeah, because that's
that
what I
aspect
do
of it.
with one of my things. What is it?
Well, see, here's the other thing about that, right? Is because so OpenClaw requires um, you to have some type of agent plugged into it, right? And so I'm using Codex, and it's
A
just
model.
weird
Yeah,
because I'm
you mean a
having to
model.
use because I'm having the model, right? So I'm having to use Codex. I basically have to use Codex to tell Claude what to do, and I know, right? OpenAI has also released a Codex plugin for Claude, so theoretically you could use Codex to still talk with Claude directly versus Codex through OpenClaw interpretation through Claude. And that's just like the thing where I'm just trying to figure out like, all right, what is this workflow I'm trying to use, right? Based off of what I'm doing. So like if I'm building some apps right now, it's like to go through OpenClaw to tell Claude what to do versus I could just work through, the Claude command line, whatever, the CLI instead. Just
Yeah. Well,
it's more
yes,
efficient.
but and or but but like what I'm specifically referring to is like when you're like remote, because like yeah,
We'll see.
Claude CLI, you have to be a computer.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess I'm just like at the moment, I don't need to do anything remote.
Yeah. See, OpenClaw for me was never a. I never felt I was going to code with OpenClaw.
Yeah,
OpenClaw for me was always that like assistant,
yeah,
and so yeah, yeah, it's kind of sad. Like it's one of those stories, right, where it's like a it's a really awesome thing gets purchased by a big company and just loses its spark
yeah.
because of that.
Yeah, maybe I'll. Yeah, we'll see. So I'll have to. I'm still trying to figure out like how could I actually use OpenClaw. Maybe I don't have anything necessary to use it at the moment. Meaning, so I think some things where it might be good is if I ever finish building kind of like this product pipeline, right? Where I could something that's it's probably more good at is like doing the research, kind of investigating whether these ideas I have are valid, and it just kind of churns through ideas, you know.
But you can do that in Claude. I think Claude's better for that.
But I mean, it's more like well, like Claude, it's like I have to sit there and babysit it while it's doing it, right?
Not what it's
Well, I mean, it's like doing the research and then kind of like pushing it through. So doing the research, evaluating it, right? Coming up with some potential like ways to build it, and then giving it to me and have that be like an automated task. It just continually does. I mean, if I haven't tried to see like if it can actually
Cowork does
do
that.
that, I don't like. Is that really what cowork is about? I
It's
asked
scheduled
Claude
tasks.
itself, like, what's the difference between cowork and just a Claude code, etc. It's like cowork really should be just like more like task management, but for stuff like doing research and stuff like that, you should probably use Claude, the Claude chat, and not that's not what cowork is meant to do.
Well, I thought where my head was like task management, manage the task of research.
Uh,
And so, like, if you said you want to do it like regularly, that's where I was going. But
yeah, okay.
I think like the end of it, it's like, and this is what's fun about AI right now is like it's
Hmm.
still ever evolving, and
Yeah,
we're still
figuring out. Yeah,
unlocking things, which is the whole hooked model, right? It's
yeah,
like variable reward. We're getting variable rewards,
yeah,
which are causing us to continue the loop.
yeah.
I was listening to a podcast with Claire Vo, who created ChatPRD, and Lenny. And they're like it's like playing the game. It's
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
you're going on all these quests and these things you're trying to do, and you
yeah.
fail, or if you fail, you want to try again. But if you win, it's like super rewarding. You
Hmm.
level up. It's crazy. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Obviously, I'm still. I haven't given up on OpenClaw right now. It's just really hard to use, and
Hmm.
I'm kind of just like, well, maybe they'll do an update where it'll just make things work again. But I am still planning to get a Mac Mini eventually and
Hmm.
just set it up fresh, just like you said. That'll be my robot, my AI, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Are you on Claude Max now? Or are you still using Claude Pro?
So I'm still using Claude Pro. I figure like whenever I run a credit, whenever I run out of usage, I'll switch to Codex for a little bit, and then I use that as a all right, time to take a break and do other things.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I find myself being kind of addicted to work because I mean I was always kind of addicted to work, but more addicted to work because of all the cool things I'm able to do in an enterprise setting with Cloud Code. Like I built these like really awesome dashboards.
Hmm.
We've got PRD experimentation brief skills that just feed it, do it for me, and then I verify the stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. All right, well, this episode is in the books, and hopefully next week is. I mean, I'm seeing the market starting to just get back to going up a bit, but it doesn't help that Trump, every day flip flops.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I've kind of given up.
But there are some good wins out there. My Tesla stock's not doing horrible, but I'm still holding on. Netflix has actually been going up. I'm waiting for Netflix to give their AI narrative so they can double in one day.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix is over 100. Well, I saw they crossed 100 at some point, but finally.